After thinking about this long and hard over the past couple of months, looking at gameplay footage, all of the information that continues to come out about the future of technology with video games and how the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X are going to pave the way for the future, I came to realize that I just don't have it in me to buy either console at launch. And I think it's gotten to the point that honestly, I don't think either company can present to me something right now that's going to really change that all that much. Hey everybody, Juan here, welcome back. For this video, I'm going to be talking about why after having a very long and deep conversation with myself, I came to the conclusion that I'm not going to be buying a PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X at launch. I'm going to be going over all the different details that I think help really explain what led to this decision. And I know it's a very sensitive topic because we have people that are very passionate on all different sides of the spectrum. I'm somebody that has a Nintendo Switch, a PlayStation 4 Pro, and an Xbox One X. So needless to say, I'm a gamer that loves all games, all consoles. I'm not here thinking that, oh, the PS5 is going to be beating the Xbox Series X. It's not about that conversation. But before we keep going, if you like what I do, please consider subscribing, clicking on that bell, going down to the comment section, and hey, let me know. As of August 2020, what's your stance? What's your take on this? Which company has persuaded you to maybe buy their console at launch? And if not, please let me know at the same time. The first thing I want to say is, as of this video, I put a down payment to build a brand new gaming PC. I'm not sitting here saying I'm not going to get either console and I'm just going to stick with what I have. Something that really helped shape this conversation had to happen with the recent Xbox event, which has led to a lot of controversy, especially with the footage showcased from the Halo game. As somebody that did not grow up playing a lot of Halo games, I don't have nostalgia for them, and I'll be real, I looked at that gameplay footage and I thought it looked okay. And I'm not this person that loves 4K gaming. Everything needs to be very just graphically impressive with a whole lot of detail. I freaking play Wii U, PS3, and PS2 games in 2020. So I just really want to make it clear that I'm not obsessed about graphics. As long as a game visually, artistically looks good, that's what I love about that, right? That's why when PlayStation 5, they showcased the Ratchet & Clank game, the one for the PS5, I thought to myself, that looks unbelievable. But you know what also looks unbelievable? Ghost of Tsushima right now on the PlayStation 4. I just saw my wife play that today on her PlayStation 4 Pro, and I freaking love that. But then on the opposite side of the spectrum, I recently sat here and talked about the SpongeBob game, A Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, right? So that's an old game brought to modern consoles, and I played that on my Xbox One X, and it looked freaking awesome. And at no point I thought to myself, you know, I think I need more. As a gamer, and I know I'm in the minority, I even did a Twitter poll, which even as of this recording, it's going back and forth about, do you need, and this is the question, for everybody listening, you can keep commenting, it's like, it's a pre-recorded video, but let's assume it's a live environment right now, right? Do you need graphics to actually look a lot better? I think my biggest complaint, or maybe justification for a refresh or a new generation of games, is that more often than not, some games visually look good, but they don't perform all that great. But then when you talk about the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, at least with the games that I've been playing, I realized that they do kind of fix that. The other shift and why I decided to buy a PC as opposed to getting a new console is that I came to realize that as a gamer, I don't feel, and I don't really think I've ever been like this, I don't feel like I need to play the latest and greatest. I've never been somebody that feels that pressure of buying that brand new game because I got to work on a YouTube video about it. I got to do a live stream. Or even before I had all of this, I love to be able to play a game without that stress. And I've stressed that enough throughout multiple videos. So it's not something that I'm saying now for the sake of controversy. I love the fact that now, when I look at my PC library, by getting a PC upgrade, I can play all of those games better. I can play those games and record footage or stream and record, and I can do whatever I want with those. But at the same time, another reason why I opted to get a PC upgrade. And rest assured, once I eventually get that PC, I'm going to work on a video here, highlight some gameplay, talk about, why I chose very specific things. But it's a pretty beefy PC. It's maybe the most advanced computer I have ever built. My wife and I have built the previous computers that we've had with some friends. And with this one, I realized that in 2020, I'm doing pretty much everything from my computer, not just streaming, not just doing YouTube. I'm also working. I'm also giving workshops. I'm doing everything. So I freaking deserve to get a computer upgrade because aside from just video games, I can actually do my work a lot better. So going back to the topic of playing games on PC, yeah, there's Steam, there's the Epic Game Store, but all of you know that I love me that PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Wii U. When you talk about the PS2 and the PS3, as much as I love those consoles, we got to have the other side of that argument, of that conversation, and even the Wii U becomes involved. Some of those games don't exactly run that great. And then I see people play these games and go like, damn, that looks unbelievable. It almost looks like a remaster. But it's because the concept of emulation has advanced so much that it feels like we can experience these games that we grew up playing in the past with a fresh coat of paint, and we don't have to wait for a remaster. And I can actually physically rip my own games. But the fact that I can get really curious about emulation, upscaling those games, I can even go on this channel and highlight gameplay of the original game being played on a PlayStation 2, and then I can show that comparison because yeah, that visually does make the game look better. It makes it perform better. And that second part is really the reason that I'm tempted to do that, because as we keep growing up, some of these consoles stop working. I've run into a couple of problems with my PS3, and yeah, I can buy another one, but in these times that are happening around the world right now, a lot of people are buying games. And some of these consoles, like the Wii U, I was actually taking a look at one of my older Wii U games from last year. I think it was like in August, right? One of the first ones that I did. And the price that I got my Wii U for then, I've gone on eBay, and that is the price for just the gamepad now. I can build a PC, and I can bring all of that with me. That gives me this peace of mind that doesn't mean I'm going to go piracy and not buy my games. I rip my games, or even if I do download an ISO or something like that, I love my physical game collection. Ironically enough, I have like over 800 games on Steam and Epic Game Store, and that's all on my hard drive. But I have options with that. I think Microsoft and Sony know that, maybe not with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, but I think in the future, we're not going to really have all these different consoles. Maybe on the Nintendo side we will, because Nintendo has been very, kept within themselves. You look at Sony and Microsoft, with Microsoft, with Game Pass, a lot of games are going to simultaneously come out with PC and Series X compatibility. I can get a beefy computer, and that doesn't mean I'm going to be missing out on a lot of stuff. Maybe sometimes at launch, it'll be console exclusive, but it is going to be coming out eventually. And then on the Sony side, look at Horizon Zero Dawn. That game's going to be coming out on PC, and it's going to look incredible, and we know that game is going to sell awesome, and it is only going to be a matter of time before other games follow that format, where initially they come out for the console of choice. In this example, the PS4 with Zero Dawn, but then maybe like a year later, it comes out for PC. How many games have we bought on day one that arrive broken, that maybe we get some DLC, but then later on, there is a complete edition? I love the fact that my computer that I'm building now, I'm doing it in such a way that I know I won't really have to worry about too much about computer upgrades in the future. One of the other main reasons I'm not going to be getting the PS5 or the Xbox Series X at launch is that, at least on the Xbox side of things, Microsoft has said, hey, your games are going to carry over. And we know that definitely includes games from the Xbox One library, but at least as of the recording of this video, we don't have a flat out list of, hey, these are Xbox 360 games that you are going to be able to play with the Xbox Series X. And I have no doubt that we are going to get that backwards compatibility. Going back to last year where they stopped that program with the Xbox One, they said, hey, we're going to get all our team to work on the next console to make sure these games are backwards compatible. So that is not my concern, but I love the fact that maybe I do buy the Xbox Series X in like a year and a half or something, but I will have a better idea of what are you talking about regarding backwards compatibility. On the Sony side, we've heard nothing. I've hated the fact that Sony has done a lot of videos, and I love Sony, I love Xbox. Once again, I'm coming in with a neutral mindset. I love the PS3. How many PS3 videos have I been doing, right? I'm working on more right now. The fact that Sony has done celebration videos about the PlayStation 25 years, I'm like, you know how you can celebrate that? By making those PS1 games, PS2, PS3 games physically playable in the damn new console. And you have to be so secretive about it. Sometimes they sort of like insinuated the fact that we are going to be celebrating PlayStation. I get it. You're going to have PS4 games supported on the PS5. But even then, sometimes they're not super clear about that. And I think more often than not, early adopters get the short end of the stick. Let's never forget the situation that happened with the 3DS. I know it's very different. We're talking about the handheld market, but the 3DS was super expensive at launch. A lot of people didn't quite understand it. It got to the point that it was selling so poorly that Nintendo had to just dramatically drop the price. They had this ambassador programs for the early adopters, and even Sony with the PS3 in its launch, we saw that from a gaming standpoint, from a gamer standpoint, it was super expensive. And I think that when we buy games at launch, we have that initial like honeymoon phase of, hey, it's the new toy. It leads to broken games not looking as good. Let's not forget, like The Last of Us, visually stunning on the PS3, but that was many years after developers were able to really connect and understand and comprehend what it was like to develop games for that console. So having that patience and understanding that the console's going to be there. I don't need to do a favor to Sony or Microsoft by buying these consoles. It is their job, literally, to figure out how to get people like myself to buy that. Maybe eventually, kind of like what Nintendo did. Nintendo, people were complaining about not having a virtual console, and we still don't have that, but eventually they came out with the NES games and the Super Nintendo games as part of the online service. Is it perfect? Hell no, but at least we have something like Donkey Kong Country, etc., but it did take a little while. Maybe Sony will have some PS3, PS2, PS1 support. Maybe they'll have it at launch, but we've seen these companies get very creative with ideas like the PlayStation Now. How many of you subscribe to this channel and the first thing you tell me is, hey, Sony did a really bad job marketing that? We've seen with the Kinect, Microsoft going, hey, this is the new thing. This is going to be awesome. Actually, you know what? We're gonna take it out. It doesn't work. Let's let them figure out how to get to us. We got to stop speaking for these companies as if we are their marketing tool, as if we need to buy these consoles. That is their job. That is their responsibility. And I can talk about this topic for hours. So really, if you haven't, consider following my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/MrPlayerJuan. I stream mainly on Wednesdays and Sundays, and we can definitely talk more about this. But the last thing or reason as to why I'm very motivated about not just buying or not buying those consoles, but buying a new PC is VR gaming. VR is this whole thing that I thought was a fad, and I still think a lot of people do believe that. I don't think VR is ever going to replace that. I think augmented reality has a much more opportunity or a bigger chance to make that happen, right? As opposed to VR. But I have that option. I don't have to pick and choose between whatever the hell Microsoft does in the future or what PSVR looks like. I have a computer that I know it's not just going to work with VR. I know it is going to be incredible with VR. And once again, we've seen Horizon go to PC. We've seen a lot of Microsoft stuff come to PC. So I think that I am going to be able to experience a lot of that stuff in addition to emulation, in addition to a massive library where I can play games on Steam that look better. I can hang out. I can have a much better time if I bought all of those. Here's the thing. Even if I bought all those consoles for the sake of this channel, I don't have 4K recording or streaming capabilities. With this computer, I can do a whole lot of stuff for the sake of videos, for the sake of streaming. So even if I bought them, I still had to do this. And I'm just very excited for the future. I think it's going to be a very challenging time for different companies because a lot of people do not have jobs right now. I think that's going to be the other challenge, that we are sometimes very frustrated when we don't know the future of Nintendo's upcoming gaming lineup and Sony and Microsoft. And it's for good reason, people. The world is not in the best place right now. And even if every single game got delayed indefinitely, I get that computer, I open up Steam, check on my backlog of games, realize that I have games for years. I have games on the PS4. I have games that some of you have sent me. I have games on PS3. I have Dragon Age Origins I started playing last week. I looked at the average beat time of that game. I'm like, I am not short on games that are worth playing in 2020. So hopefully all of you enjoyed this random ramble. Initially, there was not going to be a new video going out today because as a bit of a channel update, I guess, a lot of stuff has been happening, positive stuff, but still overwhelming. The fact that I'm doing a lot of things in my home professionally and personally with this and my actual job has taken a toll on my motivation or just energy, I'll be real, to work on videos. Like right now, I'm recording this on Saturday night, 11:41 p.m. The most that I did today was legitimately take a nap and sleep because I'm doing so much stuff during the week that when it's time to record after having done 20 Zoom calls and videos and all of that stuff for everything else, I look at a camera and I'm like, oh, I've said my name like 50 times this week. Do I need to say it again? And the thing is, I freaking love to work on this channel. I've worked, like you're going to see future videos that I've already recorded the on-camera part, but when it's time to actually record and everything else and put the pieces together and begin to edit, editing is a very lonely process. So that's why I love live streaming, because with streaming, I'm just hanging out with all of you and we can talk about these things. I really do value the connection that all of us have. So if there's anything else that I want to point out is, do consider following my second YouTube channel. I launched a Let's Play channel a couple of weeks ago because something that I've loved to do between work and everything else is just, as I'm playing a game, I don't even have my camera for the most part in these videos. I'm just talking, no editing whatsoever for the most part. And I can just talk about those games and talk about the memories. Some games are going to be part of future videos. So if you haven't followed me on that channel, it's going to be right at the end of this video, as well as in the description and the comments, and also on the Twitch. I think that we can carry this conversation. I don't know what my production schedule is going to look like. I realize I can't commit to what I really want to. So maybe you'll go one weekend or 2 weekends without a video, but rest assured, I am working on more Wii U videos, PS3 videos that I know all of us are going to love. So if you like what I do and you want to support the channel, you can subscribe, click on that bell, subscribe to the other channel, follow me on that Twitch channel. You can click on all sorts of stuff, but most importantly, please take care of yourself. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.